Assalamu alaikum dear students. I hope you are doing great and enjoying your vacations. I am Sayyida Amara, your English teacher, and today I am here with another lesson of English language. Okay students, before moving towards our lesson, who will tell me about your previous grammar topic? Or what are the things that you have discussed in your previous lesson? Yes, in your previous lesson you have discussed about verbs and what are the different types of verbs. So, who will tell me that what are the different kinds of verbs? Okay, in next slides there are some examples of verbs and you have to identify that which form of the verb or which type of the verb is given in those pictures. So, are you ready? In this slide there is a picture, and in this picture there is a person who is worried about his piece of cake, and he has used a sentence, Rob must have eaten my cake. So we identify the verbs that are used in this example. In second slide there are two conversations, or you can say that there are two dialogues. First one is, we have to show our passports and our passports must be shown. Okay, in this example there are two sentences, I may go to college or I might take a gap year. So who will identify the verbs that are given in these pictures? Yes, you are right. The verbs that have been used in these pictures are modal verbs. In today's class, we are going to discuss about some of the modal verbs and their usage in the given sentences. Before moving towards our lesson, first of all, we will discuss that what are the things that you are going to discuss or learn at the end of this lesson. So, at the end of this lesson, you will be able to identify the difference between modal verbs and attempt the given exercises that are given on your student book page number 60. First of all, we will discuss that what are the modal verbs. Which kind of the verbs are called modal verbs? A modal verb, also called a modal auxiliary verb, is used along with a main verb to express possibility, ability, permission, or necessity. So these are the things we discuss by using modal verbs, and these are possibility of some actions, ability of something, permission to take or grant permission, or necessity of something. Now, we will discuss modal verbs with the help of this example. So the example is, you must leave. Now, in this sentence, there are two verbs. Who will tell me that what are these verbs? Yes, must is a modal verb indicating that it's necessary for the subject. And who is subject? Subject is you. You have to perform that action to perform the action of the verb. So, what is the main verb? Leave. As we have discussed that we use the modal verb along with a main verb. So in this sentence there are two verbs. First one is modal verb and second one is a main action or the main verb. Clear? Now there are different words that are called modal verbs. So these are may or might, shall, should, must, can or could, or will and would. Students, first of all we will discuss the usage of may and might. According to many students, both the words are similar or their usage is similar, but there is a minute difference between the usage of may and might, and we will discuss their difference in the given slides. First one is may. First word modal verb is may. Now we will discuss its usage. We will use modal verb to discuss about the possibility of any action. Let's suppose if we say it may rain today. Now we are talking about the possibility of rain. Secondly, we use may to ask permission or to give permission to someone. May I stand here? In this sentence, I am asking for a permission. You may use my car if yours is broken. Now, in this sentence, I am giving a permission to someone that he or she may use my car. Thirdly, express wishes. Whenever we want to give, you can express our wishes for someone, we use the word may. May this special day give you countless fond memories. So we use may for following things. Now, moving towards might. Might is used for possibility, as we have discussed that we also use may for possibility, but might, I might see you tomorrow. So there is a minute difference between the usage of may and might. So we will discuss later. Then we use might for predictions, predicting of any event. You can say that it might rain today. It may rain today. It might rain today. So we can use both may and might for the same things, but the difference is, first one is we use may for present tense. On the other hand, we use might for past perfect tense. Secondly, may is used to express a high possibility. Whenever there is a high possibility of any action, then we use a word may. But when there is a lower probability of any action, that there are low chances of anything, let's suppose there is a cloudy weather and we think that it may rain today. So whenever there is a high possibility of any action, then we use may. But when there is a lower chance of anything, then we use might. Thirdly, we use may to ask for and to give permission. But we only use might to ask for permission. We cannot use might for giving permission. We only use might to ask for a permission. Lastly, she may join us for a dinner. Now, with the help of this example, we will discuss the usage of may. She may join us for dinner. She might have called, but I'm not sure. Now, in the first example, there are higher chances of that action that she may come. But in the second example, she might have called, but I'm not sure. In this section, in this sentence, there are lower probability of that action that she might come. I hope the difference between the usage of may and might has been clear to you. Now, moving towards the other modal verbs. Okay, now we are having three different modal verbs, and that are shall, and should. First of all, we will discuss the usage of shall. Shall is only used for future time reference, and we use shall with I and we. Only with the pronouns I and we use shall. With the help of this example, we will discuss the usage. I shall go to the market. Now, moving towards should. Should is a modal verb that is used for giving advice, suggestions, or recommendations. We all know that whenever we want to give some kind of advice to any person, or suggestions or recommendations, we always use should. Example is, we should apply for that particular job. So in this sentence, we are giving suggestion or recommendation to someone that he or she or we should apply for that particular job. Now, moving towards must. We use must to talk about a sense of necessity or obligations. We have to do that thing. So whenever there is an obligation or necessity that by hook or by crook we have to do that particular thing, then we use must. For example, when there are some kinds of rules and we have to follow those rules. Let's suppose that you are sitting in a library and there are some rules of library, so you must keep quiet there. So whenever there is a thing about rules and regulations are the things that we have to do on any basis, then we use the word must. For example, we must show our passport at the airport. Now, this is the rule of the airport that you have to show your passport on any means. So we use must for necessity or obligations. Clear? Now, moving towards can and could. First of all, we will discuss the usage of can. We use can to express ability or opportunity, to request or offer permission, and to show possibility or impossibility. So there are some things for which we use a modal verb can. Let's suppose with the help of this example, we will further discuss the usage. For example, he can dance well. So in this sentence, we are discussing about the possibility of particular action that he can dance well. So whenever any person wants to discuss the ability of any things or opportunities or request or offer permissions, we always use can. Now, moving towards could. Just like shall and should, may or might, these are you can say that first or second form of the verbs. First form is can and second form is could. So could is used as the past tense of can, as we have discussed earlier. It refers to an ability that a person generally had in the past or to something that was generally possible in the past. We use can for the possibilities or opportunities that can be happen in present, but we use could for the past possibilities. For example, when I was younger, I could run for miles. We also use could for some kinds of conditional sentences, but mostly we use could for the things that could happen in the past. Okay, lastly, we will discuss the difference between the usage of will and would. These are also the first and second form of the verbs. So, first of all, we will discuss the usage of will. Certainly in the future, we use will to describe a certainty in the future, making predictions, conditional sentences, requests and invitations. For example, I will go to the school. We all know very well that whenever we are going to make the sentences about future or whenever we are going to talk about the things that are going to happen in future, we always use a helping verb, and that helping verb is will. As we have discussed that we always use shall for I and we pronouns, but we also use will for I as well. For example, I will go to the school. Now moving towards the usage of would. Would is the past of will, as we have discussed already, to describe past beliefs about the future. For example, I thought we would be late, so we would have to take the train. Okay students, I hope that all the modal verbs have been clear to you. If you find any kind of confusion related to this topic, you can also consult your student book page number 62. Now, after explanation of today's topic, moving towards your written work. So, after this lesson, you are going to attempt the exercises that are given on textbook page number 62. You will attempt exercise number 1, that is about sentences. You will make sentences of given modal verbs and you will attempt this question on your student book. There is no notebook work related to this topic, and you will also attempt your workbook pages related to modal verbs. I hope that written work has been clear to you. That's all from my side. Allah Hafiz.